visiting India changes 702 naira to rupees at a rate of 3 naira to 35 rupees. He spent 2,240 rupees and invested the remaining amount in the same Bank of India at 4.5% simple interest per annum. At the end of 8 months, he transferred the capital and interest to his account in the new Nigeria Bank at the rate of 21 rupees to 2 naira. What was the amount in naira credited to his account to the nearest kobo? Answer: 702 naira is changed to rupees at 3 naira for 35 rupees. Therefore, 702 naira is equals to 702 times 35 over 3, which gives us 234 times 35, which is equals to 8,190 rupees. He spent 2,240 rupees. Balance amount in his hand is now equals to 8,190 minus 2,240, which is 5,950 rupees. Interest for 8 months on rupees of 5,950 rupees at 4 naira, 4.5% is equals to 4.5 times 5,950 times 8 all over 100 times 12 is equals to 9 times 5,950 times 8 all over 100 times 2 times 12 is equals to 119 times 3 over 2 is equals to 357 over 2, which is 178.50 rupees. Total amount is equals to 5,950 plus 178.50, which is equals to 6,128.50 rupees. Naira for 6,128.5 rupees at a rate of 21 rupees for 2 naira will be equals to 6,128.5 times 2 all over 21, which equals to 12,257 over 21. Dividing 12,257 by 21, first of all, times 21 with 5, which we now have 1,105. Subtract to get 175. We now divide by 8. We now times 21 with 8 to get 167. We minus 175 from 167 to get 77. We times 21 with 3 to have 63. We minus 77 from 63. We now have 14. Since 14 is less than 21, we now put point and add 0, which we now have in 140. We now times 21 with 6 to get 126. And if you subtract 126, if you subtract 140 from 126, we still get 14. Then we now again put 0 to make it 140 and times it with 6 to give us 126, so that it becomes 666. Therefore, the answer 12 divided by 12,257 divided by 21 will give us 583 naira 67 kobo to the nearest kobo. Question 12. A man bought a house for 28,000 naira and spent further 5,200 naira in converting it into 4 flats, which he proposed to rent out to tenants. He decides to charge a monthly rent out tenants. He decided to charge a monthly rent such that if 20% of it is put aside for maintenance and other expenses, he will be left each year with 8% of original total expenditure on the house. If the same rent is charged for each flat, calculate the nearest naira, the monthly rate for each flat. Answer. Total expenditure is equals to 28,000 plus 5,200, which is equals to 33,200 naira. 8% of the original total expenditure is equals to 8,000. 8 times 33,200 over 100, which is equals to 2,656 naira. Let the yearly rent for 4 flats be S naira. Amount spent for maintenance is equals to 20% of S. 20 over 100 times S is equals to 1 over 5x. Amount left is x minus 1 over 5x, which is equals to 4 over 5x. 4 over 5x is equals to 2,656. S is equals to 2,656 times 5 all over 4, which is equals to 3,320 naira. Monthly rate for each flat is equals to 3,320 over 12 times 4, which is equals to 415 over 6, which is equals to 69,166, which is equals to 69 naira to the nearest naira. Stocks and shares. A private individual often finds it impossible to produce sufficient capital for his business and make it a public company. He issues shares in the company and invites the public to subscribe for these shares. These shares are issued generally in unit of 50 kobo, 1 naira or 2 naira. This unit is called the nominal value of the share. At the end of the financial year, the company declares a dividend in form of a percentage of the nominal value, and the shareholder is paid the dividend due on his holding. The buying and selling of shares is controlled by the stock exchange. If the company does well and declares a good dividend, the price of share will go up. If the company does not flourish, the quoted price of the share will go up. If the company does not flourish, the quoted price of the share will go down. The fluctuation in the price of share does not change the nominal value of the shares, which always stay the same. The stock exchange price for shares are quoted in mostly daily newspapers. Preference and ordinary shares. There are several different types of shares, of which the most usual are the preference and the ordinary. A preference share is issued at a fixed percentage. For example, Guinness 5.5% preference, and the payment of these dividends is the first charge on the profit of the company. The dividend on an ordinary share is not fixed and is declared by the director of the company according to the profit made. If the preference dividend takes all or nearly all the profit of the company, the ordinary shareholder may get a much larger dividend than the preference shareholder. The preference share is therefore a safer holding, but not so likely to appreciate or depreciate in capital value as is the ordinary share. Difference between stock